Hey guys, I'm Brian on YouTube at New Life Recovery. Today we're looking at 5 ways to destroy anxiety. And the first way is simply this: close the circuit on our anxiety. What I mean by that is this: our brains are amazing when it comes to stress. The example I'll use here is laying in bed and you begin to smell smoke. So what happens? You jump up out of bed and your brain immediately goes into lower brain function, which is wonderful. That's what you need. All of a sudden, your eyes are wide open and you can assess the situation. All of a sudden, you're not tired anymore. You've got all the adrenaline that you could ever need. So you jump up and you go and you assess the situation. You realize, yes, I've got a little bit of a fire in my kitchen. So here's what you do. You run to the fire extinguisher. You pull the plug and you put out the fire. Your heart's racing, your muscles are going crazy, you're running around doing what you need to do, you're yelling at your daughter, pick up the cat, get him out of here. You do what you have to do to put out the fire. And when the fire's put out, you begin to calm down a little bit over the next 20 minutes, you start to clean up. And while that happens, your brain is slowly returning to normal. Your body is slowly returning to normal. You got out all that adrenaline by running around and doing what you had to do. Within a half hour or so, you're kind of back to normal. Your heart's not racing anymore. You've begun to process emotionally, mentally what's going on. That's how it's supposed to work. It's not always how it does work. For example, what if the thing that is causing us anxiety has to do with a test that you're getting ready to take? So you've got all this anxiety. What's going to happen? Am I going to pass? How am I going to do? What if I fail? What if I can't remember anything? We go into this panic mode. Well, our brains go into that same lower brain function. The problem is you don't have anything to do. With the fire, you could go out and put out the fire and complete that cycle. But we don't have that option when it's a perceived threat, such as a test that you're going to take. So here's what we can do. We can close that cycle. A simple way to do that is just go for a walk. Right now, I'm stressed about this test that I have to take, but going for that walk helps us relieve the adrenaline, starts working through that cortisol, and it helps to lower our anxiety. I don't care if you get out and vacuum, get up and mow the lawn, weed the garden, do something physical. Even if you just do something like drawing or painting, anything tactile, anything that you're doing something, that's going to help release your anxiety. So the first thing we need to do is close the loop on our anxiety. The second one is we need to be intentional about positivity. A simple way we can do that is practice gratitude. Right now I'm really anxious. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to practice thankfulness. So make a list of things that you're thankful for. That positivity will begin to lower your amount of stress. One thing I'll do is not just make a list of things that I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for my kids. I'm thankful for my job and my car, my hobbies. I will say, I'm thankful for my wife. She and I like to laugh together. We have a lot in common. We love some of the same restaurants and some of the same TV shows. I'm so grateful for my daughter. I love the fact that my daughter always wants to go hiking with me and go on another adventure. And you've been lost in the woods more times than I'd like to admit. Expressing what it is that you're grateful for, that takes your mind off of what we're anxious about, and it lowers our anxiety. The third thing that we can do is limit our exposure. Limit your exposure to the anxiety. This happened to me recently with the war that's going on in Israel, beginning to fear World War III, and it became a lot for me. What I had to do was limit my exposure. I told myself, you have permission to stop watching the news hour by hour, minute by minute to see what the latest. Give yourself a permission to distance yourself from the stressor. The fourth thing we can do is this, and this is so powerful. Just sit with your anxiety. What I mean by that is this. If you sit down, and this is so fascinating, if you sit down with your anxiety and you tell yourself, I'm anxious right now about this test that I have in a few days. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but you decide to sit with it. What you do is tell yourself, I'm anxious about this test coming up, and I can feel that anxiety, but that's okay. I can deal with this anxiety. What's so fascinating, what that allows our amygdala to do is to refile how your brain thinks about that anxiety. What it does is it files it as if, you know what, this isn't that gigantic of a hurdle to cross. It tells your brain, maybe I can't handle this. And the fifth technique really goes along with the fourth technique, and that's what we call grounding techniques. If you're interested in this, there's a ton of stuff you can find on Google. Just search grounding techniques. But the idea is the same. We want to be in a place that we are grounded. It's kind of saying to yourself, I'm here right now and I'm safe. I'm sitting in my bedroom and it's peaceful, and maybe I see my cat over there lying on the bed sleeping, and I'm okay. I'm safe. Yes, I have some anxiety, but thinking about the future, but right now in this moment, I'm safe. Grounding techniques often have to do with tactile things that help you stay in the moment. For example, put your hand on your desk and you can feel the cool of the desk. Or put an ice cube in your hand and feel the cool of that ice cube and watch as it melts and pools up in your hand. And as you are in that moment, you're just reminded, here I am in this moment and I'm safe and I'm okay. Some people will touch their fingers to their thumb one at a time, 1, 2, 3, 4, and remind themselves, here I am right now in the present and I'm safe. And you will literally feel the anxiety diminishing. Guys, I hope that was helpful. My assignment for you today is this. Put in the comments, what is it that causes you anxiety? And what are some ways that you deal with anxiety? I'm Brian on YouTube at New Life Recovery. Until next time, be well.